Ask yourself the damn question. Is winning the only thing to you?
Sports today are not just played on the field. They're played every day, online, all over the world, by sports fans just like you.
Don't you dare breathe. That won't get you anywhere. If you don't think you're a winner, you don't belong here.
The Star Fantasy League Show puts you in control of your own team. Find out who to sit, who to start, how to play, and have your daily fantasy sports questions answered with your host, Jonathan Sprung, and co-host SFL CEO Zach Stanley and Nick Steblenko. The Star Fantasy League Show is on the air now.
Hello and welcome to the Star Fantasy League Show here on 105.5 The Team in Rochester. I am your host, Jonathan Sprung, joined, as always, by SFL CEO, Mr. Zach Stanley.
Blessed be the day, Friday.
Uh-oh.
2 days away from the biggest game in NFL history. Possibly the greatest game as well.
What? Are you really hyping up this Buffalo Bills New England Patriots game this much?
Yes, I am. Did you know that they're introducing the new owners this game, and Johnny Resnick is going to be singing the national anthem.
Really?
Thank God.
Serious question.
Buffalo native, lead singer of the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yes, we know who he is. We know who he is.
Star.
You know who else? You know who else we know? Nick Steblenko, Teddy Bear 2, is here. He is as always, but Zach gets really mad when I don't introduce him first.
I'm excited about this game. Aren't you excited about this? The Bills are 3-2
I'm excited,
atop the AFC
but
East.
it's not the greatest game ever to exist in the history of football. As Zach
Terry
just put it.
Pegula and his beautiful wife are going to be
Would
introduced.
you please say his name the way it should be said? Pegula.
Pegasus.
No,
Yeah,
what?
we'll call him Pegasus. Fine. He's mythical, and he came to save us.
Pegasus.
How about Pegulasis?
No, just Pegasus.
No?
Yeah.
All right, I
Just
tried.
Pegasus.
I absolutely failed. Today on the show, we are talking Sunday? Something's happening Sunday? Week 6 of the NFL season. It is the weekend of fantasy focus, which means we are breaking down everything fantasy football on StarFantasyLeagues.com. We're giving you value. We're giving you our top plays. You guys are fighting to the death.
You know what, though? You always yell at the cage guy because he doesn't introduce people properly. And there you go. You skip over somebody very important that's in the office today.
We fired Footer. We don't need to
No,
talk about
we did
him.
not. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the beautiful little guy in your lap there, Mr. Jackson.
All right, joking about a guy sitting on my lap during the show, probably not going to get no, we're going to get... No.
John has his dog in the studio, and he is absolutely adorable.
Thank you. That's now on the record.
But
I
John looks
appreciate
weird.
that. Oh,
I call him the rat.
Yeah, you do call him the rat. That's a little weird.
That's okay.
I don't approve of that.
Whatever.
There's
I
also
like it.
baseball this weekend.
Who cares?
I do.
Stop. The Tigers aren't in. I don't care.
Sox aren't in. It just doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, I stopped caring about 6 months about that, but
Well, it's the
they had 40 wins. Like, come on,
Yeah.
at this point, it's the type of thing that I'd throw on the TV
just to have it.
just to have it on, and then if somehow it ends up going to extra innings or tied in the bottom of the ninth, then I'm excited. Otherwise,
Okay, fine.
That's about it.
You can have that. That's
I just sit
great.
and pray for extra innings.
Perfect. All right, we're going to talk about something that actually did happen last night. There was a football game. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I kind of forgot, and then when I tuned in, it was 24-0 already. Apparently that happened.
Well,
There was
Houston
a,
hung on. They hung on until they screwed it all up at the end.
I will say that I was very wrong on one thing last night,
Everything.
and it was the fantasy relevance of a few players. That not to say I did say I thought Arian Foster could have a great game. I did say that.
and he
We,
did.
we agreed about that.
And
Didn't see the whole T.Y. Hilton thing coming.
No, didn't see 200-plus yards.
And then, of course, Reggie Wayne did very little.
Yep.
well,
T.Y. was all over the place.
I was going to say, it's hard to really have that much production when one of your receivers has 200-plus
You know,
yards.
it's got to stink for the Texans. They not only did they have one chance to have a game-winning drive, they had two, and they botched both of them
Well, hold on. Whoa. Why did they botch both of them?
because they fumbled the ball.
Because their quarterback is Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Well, so Andre Johnson is not to blame for the first one?
Okay.
He
I
literally
unders-
just dropped the ball when nobody had touched him.
I know. And then that was the one that Mike Carey went.
Ryan Fitzpatrick actually did okay in this.
Did you hear the one where that was Mike Carey? He went, "Yep, nope, that's wrong." The leads official who's on the crew now, he was like, "Well, that fumble's incorrect.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That should have been. It should have been overturned, but apparently Somebody's saying it in New York who isn't an elite official.
I don't know. I thought he made a football move, so I disagreed with
There
Mike
really
Carey.
should be the council of elders of these guys that are like Mike Carey and the other guy on
Yeah,
Fox.
I couldn't believe they were all grouped together on that one. Like, yeah, definitely an incompletion.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh,
Like, the guy, he starts running with it.
caught
Like,
it and
it
took
doesn't matter
a couple
if you
steps.
run with it and then you lose the ball on your own.
Does this just show you how incompetent overall like refs are? Because there's clearly refs that go like Mike Pereira as well. He goes, "Yep, 100% this will be the call," and then it's wrong. You're like, "Well, I don't agree with that." You're
See,
like,
now,
"You're all incompetent."
I would have felt really bad for the Texans because I had texted you when this happened. There was a absolute phantom pass interference call that the Colts got to extend the drive, and it was with about 8 minutes left. So you're thinking, man, that could have really given the Colts what they needed to go down, score, put this game out of reach. But then the Texans ended up getting the ball back twice and screwing it up. So can't really feel all that bad for them. They had their chance, and they definitely squandered it.
Can we please talk about the fact that we mentioned this yesterday, that Andrew Luck's on pace for over 5,000 yards, close to 50 touchdowns, but these turnovers are not going away.
No.
He had an interception and a fumble. Like, what's he doing?
That's not good at all. And the fumble was returned by Watt for a touchdown. That is not good at all. That's going to be something that he's going to need to correct if they're going to want to make a deep playoff run. I don't think you can't do that in the playoffs. Right now you can get away with it, I think, during a regular season. In the playoffs, you're not going to be able to get away with a turnover like that. That's going to cost you the game.
J.J. Watt is a monster. I don't even know what to say about it anymore.
But you just said it.
He didn't really cause that fumble. No. He picked it up and he ran for it.
No, but it was like...
But him in the
game. It was like the bumping of the ball, the rolling over, picking it up, and just going to the house.
He runs like a thoroughbred.
He had a ridiculous block pass at one point that I saw.
Do you see he has more touchdowns than like...
Yes.
I think it was
3.
like... He has more touchdowns
and
overall
like 5
than
of the top
yeah,
receivers
exactly. I
or
saw it
something.
this morning.
Yeah.
No, 4 of the top 20 overall fantasy picks going into the season. That's disgusting. That's embarrassing.
It's cool.
It is cool.
It's really cool to see a guy that can take over the game on the other side of the field.
And once the HGH testing goes through, that'll be all over.
Oh, my.
That's controversial.
No. We are moving
Sparking
on.
controversy at the SFL show.
Yep, it is time to move on from that, and it is time for the Weekend Fantasy Focus. We always start this show talking about Value Corner, and that is value picks that allow you to get in those big guys. But let's be honest, this week it might be a little difficult. Prices are getting pretty competitive on StarFantasyLeagues.com, which means you have to dig a little bit deeper to get those value plays in there, which I think it's great for competition.
Well, although I'm not really expecting a whole lot out of him, Toby Gerhart was ruled out for the week, so Storm Johnson is apparently getting the start. He's going to be the minimum salary at $3,000.
How do you manage to go out of order? Like, you guys know we've done the show 100 times.
You just said, what are you talking about?
Okay, we always do the show the same way. We start off with value quarterbacks because they're top of the list. And, apparently Storm Johnson plays quarterback for the...
Fine, Mike Glennon is still 9,000. You're going to talk about him for the third day in a row.
No, actually, I have Mike Glennon listed as my...
Talk about Kyle Orton? Let's talk about Kyle Orton.
I don't think Footer's on the show, so Kyle Orton's name won't
Actually,
be
I might play him.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
Okay, look at all the other quarterbacks. You talk about this all the time, so let's talk about it, okay? All the other quarterbacks are like 17,000 and up, even guys that you wouldn't even want to play
I have
14,000.
Hold on. I have 3 names that I like better than any of the names you just mentioned.
All right.
Kirk Cousins, 11,000. Really like him against Arizona. They are
on
banged.
the road?
I don't care. They are banged up. They're allowing the 4th most points to QBs this season. They can still destroy again. They're tight. They can't guard a tight ends to save their lives. I actually really like as a sneaky play Brian Hoyer at 12,500 this week.
Yeah, that could be good.
He played really well against Pittsburgh. He's been doing this whole comeback thing where he's putting up fantasy. I can't really call them garbage points, but they kind of are fantasy garbage points. They're coming in the second half. So, and then one more is Blake Bortles against Tennessee. Tennessee hasn't proven that they can stop anything with legs yet. So, the minimum?
I don't know. I'd rather have Glennon.
I can't just
I'd
throw
rather have
in
Glennon.
these,
He doesn't turn it over.
I can't just throw in these people that I don't have any confidence in.
I'd rather have Glennon. He doesn't turn the ball over, and he actually does do a pretty decent job of putting up fantasy points.
Baltimore has been pretty good. Their corners are pretty okay.
Okay, but I don't like Kirk Cousins this week because I don't like him going on the road right now. I don't like him going up against Arizona. I'm sorry, I just don't like.
I'm telling you,
about it.
Their secondary has been a huge letdown this season.
That's fine, but we're still talking.
I'm talking about Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, we're still talking about a guy that has shown some true colors that he's not going to be a future quarterback.
But he's also shown colors that he could be the future.
He's definitely not going to be.
It could absolutely happen.
The one other thing I wanted to mention is I'm just going to say, since there is no name yet, Tennessee quarterback unnamed.
Probably going to be Whitehurst.
Are you interested?
No.
Against Jacksonville?
Absolutely not interested. I'm trying to take.
You know what? Honestly, I see this game as being a total mess.
You think it's going to be like 17-10 or something?
Yeah, I think it could be some absolute trash score where everybody's like, yeah, these defenses are so bad and this is going to be high. I think it could be really low scoring. I just don't want to touch it.
If I'm trying to take down a GPP, there is no way I'm putting in Charlie Whitehurst. In any fantasy lineup ever that I'll ever have.
But let's move on to running back value because you did just mention a name. There's a couple guys in this game. Apparently, Sean Green's not playing either, or he's just missed practice today again. Is it time for your prediction?
For the Sankey leg?
Is it Sankey's time?
Why not?
Because I don't think he's a good running back. I don't know.
What do you mean? When have you watched him?
I've watched
You've
him.
watced a lot of Tennessee games this year?
I sit in the stands every once in a while.
There is no way that you
I have an open
him.
invitation to get down to Tennessee.
Have you seen him play at all?
No.
No, you have not. I just don't think he's
good.
Okay, fine.
I just have this feeling in my heart, it hurts.
That's
ridiculous. That might be a heart attack. I don't think you should be worrying about that feeling in your
heart. Well, why is
he
he not playing over Sean Green?
He actually has improved every week. The main reason that they said was because of footwork, which I didn't understand.
Yeah, I read
what that really means because he's averaging like over 4 yards per carry. I think he was at 4.9 at one point.
As a change of pace back.
But Sean Green is not. It's not going to happen.
Sean Green's not the future.
Sean Green's not good. So why is
he's
Sean
a rookie? Green? Like we don't see this before. Like this hasn't happened. Like you don't groom. Like you don't groom rookies.
You mean like Monty Ball last season, where everyone went, he's going to start right away, and then like week 7 he started.
You mean like Monty Ball last season?
Yeah, Sankey's not that good.
Okay, people said that about Ball. Why wasn't Monty Ball starting? I think
this is the perfect time for a breakout because Tennessee has the potential to get up big in this game, even though it's only a 4-point spread. That would mean that they're giving the ball to the Bishop.
So it's only because Sean Green is not playing, right?
No, actually they have made multiple comments that they're going to continue utilizing him more every single week, and they have. So just be on the lookout for a breakout.
Point taken. Not going to happen.
All right, so we mentioned, obviously, Storm Johnson, the minimum. You said you were going to save money at quarterback and running back this week, and I'm assuming this is helping you save money at running back.
Yeah, I don't see how it's not.
Yeah. Well, is he even start? Are we guaranteeing him starting this game?
Well, they've already ruled. Gerhardt is definitely out.
But
so even if they share the backfield,
could you see something? Could you see them mixing it up where Denard Robinson plays like an inordinate amount of snaps in this game?
No, but I think you're looking at probably like 60-40, 70-30. I mean, they said that they're going to start this guy. So regardless, if he gets 4 catches for 30 yards and 40 yards on the ground, you far exceeded value.
Yeah.
I think there's 2 guys that are musts for value plays at running back, and that's Brandon Oliver and Andre Williams.
Well, so you're going with my no-duh play of the week? Brandon Oliver, I said it on yesterday's show.
Is that like a new segment?
No, I looked at it and I said, if you're not playing him, you are duh. Like, duh.
No duh play of the week.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Mr. Jackson.
Wait for it. Cage guy. Hey, Cage guy, work on it. No duh play of the week next time.
John Ode.
Can you please tell me why Andre Williams is like the best play ever?
Fridays on the show.
He has the potential to be the top play of the week, right? He could be there.
He could be the top value play of the week.
Certainly. Well,
I don't think he's going to be the top running back of the week.
You saw what Rashad Jennings did in that system. They're playing Philadelphia. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts up 25 fantasy points in this game. 2 touchdowns.
25 and 2 touchdowns?
I would not be surprised if that happened.
Make a prediction.
I am making a prediction. 25 fantasy points.
He did it.
And coming out after the break, we are continuing with Value Corner and Weekend Winners. And you'll listen to the Start Fantasy League Show on 105.5 The Team.
The Star Fantasy League Show. Information is key to being a successful fantasy team owner, and the guys have all the updated info you need right now. Okay, fantasy sports fans.
There's a letter in your mailbox.
Time to dig into Donald's mailbag for your questions and comments.
Read the mail, read the mail, read the mail.
Jump in the game. Send your questions and comments to the Star Fantasy League's team by tweeting at SFL Show.
Wrong. It's Friday and it's the Weekend Fantasy Focus, which means you are not being part of Donald's mailbag today. You can be part of Footer's Universe later at midnight. Send in your stupid questions.
It's like your mailbag for us.
Yeah. Except that...
That's the next segment, though.
What?
When you ask us the would you rathers, it's like our own personal mailbag.
Yeah, actually, you know what? If you are tweeting and driving right now, please don't do that. But if you're home, sitting at home listening to it on the radio, tweet us at SFL Show with your would you rather, and we'll put it in there. And I'll get it in.
Unless it sucks.
And then I'll put it in Footer's would you rather later. And it'll just be, would you rather chicken or steak? Go ahead. Would you rather chicken or steak?
Chicken.
That's a horrible choice.
Definitely steak.
Yeah, it's definitely steak. It's definitely steak. All right, get out of here.
I know what I'm getting with chicken. Okay,
oh
you
my
just said
God.
steak. If you said filet mignon, well,
I think steak is good for
Cowboy
at least
steak.
Steak is good for at least
Cowboy steak. Where are we at Outback?
Well, yeah, that's gross. No, Chop House.
Max Chop House.
Yeah, Max Chop House is an
Like
amazing
one of the best
cowboy
steaks
steak.
Well,
ever.
you haven't taken me there, okay? You never take me out anymore. I don't understand it.
Oh
Doesn't
my
make
God,
sense.
he's getting awkwardly fired up right now.
Really weird.
Yeah, all right. We need to talk about value corner. We mentioned the really low the really high value players that have low salaries on StarFantasyLeagues.com for running back. But I think there are some guys that are big names that their salaries have just diminished so far that they become monster values, especially this week. I'm going to name 3 guys for you that I have. LaShawn McCoy, 11,616. Joik Bell, 10,020. And then Eddie Lacy, 12,979. All 3 of these guys have been so bad this season, their salaries have just been crapped on.
What's that face for?
LaShawn McCoy's at 11,000.
Have you seen what he's done?
I done
I
anything.
do not care. He
had
got 24 carries last game.
Okay, but he had how many fantasy points? Like
He's
7?
not doing anything right now.
He's doing nothing.
He's not doing what he did last year. And last year warranted him being 25,000.
Okay, he's had what? One really good game?
One.
Okay.
1 out of 5.
Okay, and there's been 5.
I'm not saying that it's not a great play.
It's a great play.
I'm saying I understand why he's that low.
Hasn't he chewed up the Giants historically?
He chewed up Washington historically, and he didn't do anything against them.
Also true.
All right, so I don't know, some sort of saying that I'm supposed to fit in there. Lightning doesn't strike twice or some crap. I don't know what the hell.
All right, what about? I actually think Joik Bell has a chance to be a monster running back this week, only because Reggie Bush is doing that whole maybe I'll play. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think Reggie Bush is going to play.
I hope he
doesn't.
doesn't.
All this week, all the reports have pointed towards him and Megatron both being out. So I'm going to stick with that, and I think Joik Bell is a great play.
I'm going to go with the mega stack of the week being backups. Well, not backups per se, but Joik Bell and Golden Tate as a monster duo this week, putting up number 1 numbers.
Yeah, you don't usually like putting the running back and wide receiver of the same team in your lineup.
But
this is such an explosive offense. Golden Tate, the ability to get a ton of catches regardless of whether he gets in the end zone or not. You can definitely put both of them in a GPP, I think.
I approve. All right, let's move on to some value wide receivers for this week. Again, there's some big names in here whose value is kind of low. Number 1 that I just love this week is Brandon Marshall against Atlanta. I think everybody's going to have a chance to put up big numbers. I know we all like the big names there as well, but Brandon Marshall's down 13,197 right now because he hasn't been playing all that much.
Yeah, and they say that they're going to start feeding him the ball a heck of a lot more. So, yeah, I think this is probably the best week to take him because there is a great potential for his salary to go up after this
53.5 over-under in this game, and I've seen many quote-unquote experts saying that the over is an absolute lock in this game. So.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Both of these defenses stink, and both of these offenses are capable of putting up a lot of points.
And it's in a dome.
Yep. Anybody with good speed is probably good in this game, a.k.a. don't take Steven Jackson. He's slow. I don't like him.
Yep.
No, thank you. Anybody else you guys are interested in for value wide receivers?
No, I mean,
well, Tate, because I think he has a ton of value, but I know he's still around the middle at 14,000 or so.
Yeah, I think I'm going to save him for my weekend winner. I really think he is.
I think Tate could go absolutely bonkers this week. He's already shown what he's capable of. He's becoming a favorite of Matthew Stafford. This could be one of the biggest weeks of his career.
The one guy that neither of you mentioned yet, but I think needs some consideration, because if A.J. Green does not play, Mohamed Sanu is sitting right there at 10,939.
That is true.
I know they're going up against Carolina, but still, somebody's going to have to get some yards in that game.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, the other thing that a lot of people fail to consider, when a number 1 wide receiver's out and the number 2 steps into that position, that means that they're going to garner number 1 coverage. And against a team like Carolina, it does make me a little bit nervous. Sanu's been fantastic, though. He's been great all year. So
I'm giving Devontae Adams a look. I don't have his salary in front of me right now.
Cheap.
But Jarrett Boykin's going to be out again. This is a guy that regardless of the fact that he hasn't gotten many catches so far, he had a touchdown taken away a couple weeks ago against Chicago. He's looked really good. His route running has been crisp. He's a big guy. I think he's going to start factoring in a lot more to this offense. I don't think we're going to see Jarrett Boykin back in the huddle much anymore.
Well, and you heard what Aaron Rodgers said about him. He said that he's been watching film, seeing that Adams has actually been getting open. And, naturally, Rodgers is going to look to Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb first. So for him to say that he saw that on film could translate into a lot of success.
Certainly could. And all right, the one guy I also liked is Terrence Williams as sort of an under-the-radar GPP play because Seattle has not been that good against the pass this season, despite everyone thinking they have the best pass defense in the league. It's actually in the lower third of the league right now.
This one makes me nervous because it's in Seattle.
It makes me nervous, but it's interesting because he's one of those guys that could blow up, and he's one of those guys that probably isn't going to be selected a bunch this week, which makes it advantageous in the GPP play.
That's exactly why I'm looking at him, because I think, you have him in have Dallas exposure in one of your lineups because nobody's going to have it. I really think it's going to be under 5% owned in most leagues. All right, perfect. Let's move on to tight ends because there are a lot of value tight ends I like this week. A lot.
I think this is the week that you got to pick Jordan Cameron just because he hasn't had a breakout game. That first game against Pittsburgh, he had those 2 catches for over 40 yards in like the first 5-10 minutes of the game, and it looked like he was going to be big, and then he went out with that injury. So now he's fully healthy, 100%. If it's going to be any week, I feel like this has got to be the week. Otherwise, we might be talking about a major bust.
His $8,000 salary on StarFantasyLeagues.com right now is definitely worth a look. Very,
very intrigued by who I have ranked as my number 1 tight end this week, Rob Gronkowski, who is listed at 12,600, 6th or 12,300.
I was like, whoa,
which is 6th amongst the tight ends on StarFantasyLeagues.com in salary. He had his breakout week. Yep. He is back. He is healthy. He is getting a massive chunk of the snaps.
And you know what's actually helping him the most? Tim Wright's understanding the offense. He's getting more snaps. I think that actually is a
it takes pressure off.
Big part.
Absolutely.
He's a big. Tim Wright's a big guy. I honestly,
as a Bills fan, you're worried about him.
You should be.
I'm worried about both of them.
Oh,
why wouldn't I be?
I think if you don't want to spend money at the tight end position, Tim Wright at 44.78 is a great way to punt that position.
Could be. Against the Bills, I feel like Zach's right. Gronkowski's going to go crazy.
I think if we cover Gronk, Wright, Edelman, Ridley, Vereen, all those guys, and Brady really well, we'll probably win this game.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you, John. Thank you, John Madden, for that expert analysis.
I'll tell you how the Bills are going to win. They're going to get a 4-man pass rush because that's how you beat Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
Oh.
We've talked about that.
Okay. Great. All right, we need to move on to weekend winners where we pick the top performing player at each position. Nick, you going to go out of order and pick like a wide receiver right now?
I've got Adam Vinatieri from last night's game.
Wow. That was good.
It's a good pick.
I have Matt Prater at kicking 7 field goals and then giving the finger to Denver fans.
Oh, yeah.
No, they're not even playing each other this week. He's just going to give the finger to him.
He's going to drive to Denver and then give him the finger.
And then drink. Wait, no. He's not supposed to do that.
No,
You can't do that anymore.
Don't do that.
All right, weekend winners for quarterbacks. I have to go with the obvious here.
Yeah? Who's that?
I'm pretty sure a certain great quarterback just torched this New York Jets team last week, and Peyton Manning's better than Phil Rivers, so why wouldn't Peyton Manning be able to destroy this depleted New York Jets secondary?
Yeah, absolutely. He will, and could be 3, 4, 5 touchdowns. Who knows? He really could absolutely destroy them. I'm actually going to go with Matt Ryan because I think that game, I think that Atlanta versus Chicago in a dome, no defense in Chicago. I think that Matt Ryan could definitely light this team up.
That's not out of the realm of possibility at all.
And I think that that's one of those out-of-the-box ones where everybody's going to be picking Peyton Manning, maybe even Aaron Rodgers, something like that. So.
Yeah, I find it hard that people wouldn't be picking Phil Rivers a high percentage as well at Oakland. I don't know why. I've yet to figure out why a lot of people are interested in Oakland in this game. I think they're on the bandwagon with you where San Diego's not for real. They're gonna fall off.
No,
I don't see it.
They are going to fall off.
Oh my God! Why? You're just.
It's the Chargers.
Okay.
They're just the Chargers.
You can't use the term. It's the Chargers.
It's the Chargers. That's all I can say.
They're against
the wheels
Oakland.
used to fall off the Chargers before Turner got there. It's been happening for over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I can't deal with this.
Well, neither can San Diego. So.
All right, Zach, who do you got for your top quarterback of the week?
I have Eli Manning.
Oh my God.
I have Eli Manning.
Whoa. No. We're talking about top quarterback of the week, Zach.
Eli Manning.
Please stop.
Have you been drinking the Seth Young Kool-Aid? Did you trade for Eli Manning in your league?
I did not.
What's wrong with you? I don't even understand you now.
It's a gut shot pick.
Oh God.
Oh my.
Now
God.
listen, this game is an
Speaking
over-under.
Gut shot. I'm gonna throw up here.
Over-under 50. Eli Manning, 2 great games in a row right now.
Oh God.
Odell Beckham showing up.
2 great games in a row by Eli means an inevitable collapse.
Odell Beckham showing up, making his presence known. We've got an over-under. Did I mention we've got an over-under 50?
You did, yes.
Eli Manning.
You did mention that already, yeah.
Multiple weapons. Ruben Randall, Victor Cruz, Beckham Jr. finally showing up.
What do you mean finally showing up? He was just healthy. This is his first NFL game.
So are you counting all the passes he's going to throw to the other team as well?
One of the freshest and exciting young tight ends in the league right now.
Oh, good Lord.
Missing Rashad Jennings.
This is unbelievable.
Might need to go to the pass game a little bit more. 2.5-point favorite for Philly. Could end up being down a little bit in this game. Over under 50.
So Philly's defense that scored like 6 touchdowns in the past 2 weeks isn't going to factor in.
I have a real big question. What's the over-under in this game?
50.
Okay, just checking. I didn't know if it
went
up.
I had to look again.
Okay, did it go up?
It's still 50. But there's a good chance that it does go up. And let's remember that, at this point in time when this game's coming on, we'll have been waiting all day for Sunday night. So.
Wow. I am so done with this Carrie Underwood stuff right now. It's all over.
It's going to be a star-spangled fight.
All right, we need to move on to the top running back on StarFantasyLeagues.com this week. I'm a homer. It's Le'Veon
Well,
Bell.
he absolutely crushed Cleveland.
I'm very upset.
Week 1, so I'm not surprised.
He didn't try to get to 200 total yards. He only got 197 in the Week 1 matchup.
I mean, and he
should have gone for it.
How many passes did he catch?
7, I believe. It was either 5 or 7.
It was 5 to 7, something crazy. So not surprised with that. I have Matt Forte because I think that game's going to be an absolute blowout. Offenses are going to blow
a shootout.
The defense.
It's going to be a shootout. Yes.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's like the old Atlanta-New Orleans thing where you knew that there were going to be 50-plus points in every game they played. Chicago basically has the ability to do that in any game they play, as does Atlanta right now.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I swear to God, if you go out of the box and pick another stupid pick, Eli Manning again.
I'm going to go with LaShawn McCoy here, okay? I think this is a guy, I was going to say Matt Forte, but obviously Nick took my pick as usual. So
wow.
I'm going to go with Matt Forte.
I'm sorry. I left Eli Manning there for you, so
No.
Didn't take
but
that.
in all seriousness, LaShawn McCoy, rough couple games, still getting the rock a lot. Like what he did against the Giants his whole career so far. Everybody's coming to play to Sunday night. Gotta love it. Carrie Underwood, do what you do.
All right, perfect. I actually think Eddie Lacy might be that under-the-radar guy for weekend winner. But coming after the break, we're doing the rest of the weekend winners, and it's a spirited round of Would You Rather, and you're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show on 105.5 The Team.
Play fantasy sports for cash prizes. Join the top daily and weekly fantasy leagues in the country at StarFantasyLeagues.com. Now, back to the Star Fantasy League Show with Donald, Teddy Bear 2, and the Deucey Moose. Only on the Team.
That is right. We are back with Donald, Teddy, and Deucey on the Star Fantasy League Show with the Weekend Fantasy Focus. Before the break, we were talking about the running back top weekend winners, and
Eli Manning.
I said,
Mr. Jackson looks perturbed.
Why?
It has to do with that ridiculous pick by Zach.
Well, actually, when he hears Eli Manning, he goes, "Arr!" It's kind of awkward. Say Eli Manning again.
Eli Manning.
Arr!
That was you.
Oh, no, that actually wasn't. That was me. Maybe it's me that perks up when you say awful picks.
You perk
350 yards and 3 touchdowns, Eli Manning this week.
All right, I make stupid predictions, and so does Zach this week. Let's do it.
Fantastic.
All right, we got to move on to wide receiver winners of the week. I could not narrow this down for some reason. I usually write 2 or 3 just in case you guys pick them. I have 6 written down.
Wow.
Because remember, we said you were spending money on wide receivers this week, and
yeah,
I think
this is definitely my spot right here.
There's a lot of them between 15 and 20,000 that could be the top winner of the week easily.
Don't you always just tell us we have to pick one, though? So maybe you should figure that out.
I'm going to make my final decision once you 2 have gone. So that's what I always do.
It is? You just went first last time.
Well, since I always take your pick, why don't you go ahead, Zach?
Okay.
He has no idea right now.
Well, I was going to wait until I heard what Nick said.
All right, fine. All right, fine. I have 2 guys I think that would be great, so I'm going to pick one.
Here we go.
I have Antonio Brown because I think he's going to absolutely light up the Cleveland defense. Joe Hayden is still questionable, but even if he does play, Antonio Brown owns Joe Hayden every single time he plays him. So I think he's in line for a big week, especially if Hayden is out.
My notes do say Joe Hayden injured ? Oh my.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter because I look back.
Yeah,
he's done fantastic against him.
He owns everybody.
Yeah. So
I'm going to go with Julio Jones.
That would
we
be my
saw we saw what the Packers did to the Bears a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
We even saw Greg Olsen have one of the best games of his career against them last week.
I heard his nickname is G-Reg. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Just
What's
checking.
his name?
G-Reg.
Yes. And this is just a no doubter for me. I mean, this is such a potential high scoring game. You know, top guy on the team right now. He's clearly pulling away from Roddy White as Roddy White gets older.
Yep.
He could just go off.
He doesn't get older.
Week. He could have a game like he did against Tampa Bay.
Roddy White's not getting older. He's just getting wiser. That's not true at all.
Yeah.
No. All right, so I do have 18 million different guys written down. I'm going to go with a conditional weekend winner. If Megatron does not play, Golden Tate is the weekend winner. Wow.
Yeah.
I could see 100.
Wow.
I could see 150 and 1 touchdown being the winning score this week.
I can't. I think that there's a good chance that could happen twice in the Falcons game.
What you're saying?
Brandon
Marshall,
either Brandon Marshall
Jones?
or Alshon Jeffrey and Julio
Jones.
Jones.
Okay.
Could get over 150 yards in a TD.
Written down, I have Brandon
Or 2
Marshall.
TDs.
I have Brandon Marshall written down.
Or 3 TDs.
I'm going on a limb. I think it's going to
or
be going
4 TDs.
Okay, we can keep doing this all day. All right, let's go with the last two tight ends. Weekend winner. What you got?
I'm going with Gronk.
Yes,
I mean,
you are.
this is a pretty obvious pick to me. The guy has reassumed his role as the dominant player in this passing game. He makes the Patriots look so much better when he is in sync and fully healthy. He shouldn't have a problem doing some damage against a Bills secondary that, although they have been strong in some games this year, they are not very large.
You think he's a guaranteed lock number 1?
What does that mean?
That's what you just said. You said it's a no-brainer?
No, that he is the number 1 in the Patriots passing game.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
No-brainer.
Well, you said it was a no-brainer.
well,
you said I don't think there's no question.
I think for the value, I think the fact that he's the 6th-ranked running back in salary on the site,
tight end.
I think it's tight end.
Quarterback.
He could be a running back. This guy can do everything.
Yeah. Slot him in your season-long leagues at running back.
I'm going to go with Julius Thomas because Peyton Manning and that offense are just going to destroy, and Julius Thomas is locking in as his second. I guess I would say Peyton Manning's second target because Demaryius is still a beast. But
all righty, since you guys decided to take both of mine, I'm going to go with something I didn't want to do, and I'm going with Antonio Gates. I don't really.
Why is that? That's not a bad pick.
Because he's third on my list.
Surprised you didn't go with Martellus Bennett, actually, but either one. I think both of them are going to be fine.
I think the whole thing where they are mentioning they want to get the ball to Brandon Marshall, I think a lot of red zone targets are probably going to go his way.
Did anybody notice that there are 5 players ranked above Rob Gronkowski this week, and Jimmy Graham isn't even playing?
Yeah.
Easy pick.
That's
money.
fine. We're talking about the number 1 player of the weekend.
We're
talking
profits,
about the guy.
Number 1.
That's fine. So
money
you're talking
team.
about the value guy. We're talking about the guy that's actually going to outperform him and Julius
Zach,
Thomas,
speaking of numbers that you know, what's the over-under in the New York Giants-Philadelphia game?
50.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure if you still
Actually,
knew.
it changed.
Yeah, it's actually 50.5 since you keep boasting about it.
I think it's going to go up even more.
It should go up. All right, quickly, you want to touch on defenses? Does anybody care?
Sure.
There's some pretty obvious. There's some pretty obvious ones this week.
Yeah, we can talk about a couple of these. I think the Ravens are a little bit of a dark horse opportunity here. Mike Glennon, he's been solid since he's came back.
He doesn't really turn the ball over.
People are feeling good about it. I still think that the Ravens have the ability to blow this team up. I think it's possible. No Mike Evans. Vincent Jackson needs to be relied upon.
Mike Evans could play. He's
not going to play.
He practiced today.
Oh, he did?
He practiced this morning. Yep.
Either way, go Ravens.
I'll tell you who I'm going to pick is the disrespected
Oakland
Buffalo
Raiders?
Bills in Buffalo.
That's so stupid.
It's not stupid.
What a
They've been
stupid
one of
pick.
the best fantasy defenses all season long. They get sacks, they get interceptions, and they're going to take one to the house against Tom Brady and his duck. That's what's happening.
His wounded duck.
His wounded duck of an arm.
Excuse me.
It's a wounded goat.
Pass.
It's Tom Brady and his goat, not his duck.
All right, fine. His goat. Fine.
Perfect.
But they're going to pick one of those wobbly ducks off and take it to the house.
I personally think Denver, New York Jets proved last week they are just a dysfunctional bunch
They're
of
just like any, but
awful.
there's so many teams that you can pick here for defense.
I know.
Tony Romo could easily throw a couple pick sixes. We've seen that before in Seattle. Such a loud stadium. And then, of course, the 49ers against whoever that guy is.
Austin Davis, who actually has been pretty good fantasy-wise.
he's been okay.
Yeah, he's been great fantasy-wise. That doesn't mean he's also throwing like 50%. So
Yeah, that is
well, because they're playing from behind every time.
Yeah,
that is
that's why he's
very,
getting
very
points.
He
true.
throws a ton.
All right, we need to move on to the best part of the weekend fantasy focus. Put your gloves on, boys. It's time for Would You Rather
Win
with Dan Rather. Actually, we couldn't get Dan Rather. I have to do it again.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, guys. All right, we picked two guys. I put them head to head, and you fight it out.
Would you rather with Dan Rather? I like that.
That's
I
why
feel
I
pretty
said
good
it.
about that.
All right, first one is Matt Ryan 22-353 or Phil Rivers 21-202.
I got Matt Ryan. I told you I think he's going to be the number 1 quarterback.
Oh
this week.
wow! That was
Sorry.
a tough one.
Well,
wow, that's a reach. That might be a reach.
You
buddy.
can blame the guy throwing out the numbers here. Okay.
I love Phil Rivers this week.
I'm not touching Phil Rivers. This is a division game. Makes me a little weary. They could get up big in this game, potentially, and then just not even do anything in the second half.
Tony Sperano can't call plays. He can't see the play card in front of him. He needs to wear sunglasses.
Listen, he buried the football. Okay, you understand that? The pass is the pass.
There's a lot of quarterbacks that I would take over Phillip Rivers this week. Let's just say that. And Matt Ryan could be the number 1 quarterback this week. It's possible.
I can't wait to take Phil Rivers here and blast all of you people.
Okay.
All right.
All of you people.
Fine.
What are we
I know,
laying
it's
down
fine
on
with us.
I'll take
Nothing.
your dog if we win.
Great. All right, this one will be fun because
Your little dog.
You probably hate both of these guys. Blake Bortles 9,022 or Mike Glennon at the minimum.
Kyle Orton.
Okay, or Kyle Orton. That's would you rather or would you rather?
Kyle Orton.
Kyle Orton. I take Kyle Orton, too.
Are you guys serious about this Kyle Orton thing?
You know why? Because it's in Buffalo, and the Pagulas, the Pegulas, the Pegasus is coming to town, and he's getting introduced. There he is. Jim Kelly is free of cancer. Ralph Wilson is the man. Kyle Orton.
I love this. I mean, let's be honest here, okay? Kyle Orton
sucks.
Kyle Orton,
to be honest.
No.
Kyle
Not
Orton
this game.
never had that great of QBR. He never did. However, in his time with Denver, he had a lot of big passing games. He was always the type of guy. He's a gunner, and he can put up points.
And he will gun.
And he probably will this week. Thanks.
All right, I disagree with both of you wholeheartedly.
Signing off.
I think Blake Bortles is going to have some decent numbers this week.
So basically we're doing Would You Rather Zach and Nick versus John right now.
I usually don't pick, but you guys are so offending me
Blake
right now.
Blake Bortles has a lot of growing to do.
Yeah,
in all honesty, I just don't like that Jacksonville, Tennessee game. I'm going to steer clear of it.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're moving on. Marshawn Lynch, 18,926, or Le'Veon Bell, 18,115.
I'm going to go with Marshawn Lynch here. And the reason being is that I like the idea of Seattle getting up a lot in this game and Marshawn Lynch being a huge part of it. Dallas, although they've shown up pretty well in some games defensively and have impressed us more than we thought, they've had some games with issues with the run, and I think that Marshawn Lynch could get 2 TDs in this game.
Yeah, except for the fact that Le'Veon Bell destroyed Cleveland, and he's going to do it again. So I'm not really sure where Marshawn Lynch factors in.
You're really not playing the number.
What is that? Okay, so we've never seen.
Okay, well, hang on.
We've never seen a team say, "Oh, you killed us. We're going to concentrate more on you."
I was just trying to talk a bunch of smack. Anyways, Le'Veon Bell factors in the passing game, and Marshawn Lynch does not. And I think not
except
really.
Last game when he got the game-winning first down.
He's not a passing running back. Not a passing running back. Le'Veon Bell will be involved in both facets of the game. I think he goes over 100 yards on the ground and at least 4 catches for maybe 50, 60 yards. And 8 TDs. Rah!
Yeah, and I just see this game getting out of control.
Okay, that's fine. If the Seahawks get out of control, then they're just going to keep pounding it with Marsh.
Oh, Marsh. All right, I like that. It's a term of endearment. All right, moving on. Brandon Oliver, 95.58, or Joik Bell, 10,020, assuming Reggie Bush doesn't play.
I'm going to go with Joik Bell, actually, because I think that I think he's going to be the number one option, honestly. I mean, yeah, Golden Tate's going to be there, and I think he's in line for a big game as well. But Joik Bell could see.
You don't think they're going to ease him back into action and give Theo Riddick some of the looks?
Stop it.
He's 100%. He's been full in practice, good to go.
Yeah, it's 2
no
weeks.
concussion symptoms.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
He's all set. Not a problem. 25, 30 touches at least.
I'll go with Oliver. I think that he's got the potential to have a top 7 performance this week. The type of guy that could get tons of catches out of the backfield. I think this is going to be a showcase of what his capabilities are and rocket him into the top overall spot.
You don't think that there's a possibility that this is just a hype train?
No.
That this was just an accident?
No.
Okay, so the other team had no idea that he was coming, but they were supposed to stop him?
Correct.
Okay, don't think so.
All right.
Awesome.
We'll see.
We're moving on. Steve Smith, 15,139, or Golden Boy, Golden Tate, $14,005.
Ooh.
I know, right? This is a good one.
Seriously?
That's a pretty good one.
Why is this a good one?
Because Steve Smith has been like the 3rd best wide receiver this season.
Yeah, and he put up a practical goose egg last week. I'm going to go with Golden Tate. He's one of my top receivers this week. I think he's a must start even at his price right now.
Quick
He's going to absolutely blow up. They don't have anybody else to throw to on that team that's actually good.
Quick question. Has Tampa Bay allowed less than 350 passing yards yet this season?
Exactly why I'm taking Steve Smith.
I don't
because
think they
Tampa
have.
Bay is absolutely atrocious on defense, and I think that Steve Smith has solidified himself as the number one option for whatever reason. Torrey Smith doesn't factor into Gary Kubiak's game plan.
Steve
Smith could
Steve,
don't have
call me
touchdown
Torrey
game.
Smith.
Yep.
That's his new nickname. Senior. I forgot that part.
Okay.
For some stupid reason.
All right.
All right, last wide receiver really quickly. Michael Crabtree, 11,258, or Roddy, don't call me old white, 11,756. You called him old. That was not very nice.
I'll take Crabtree, and the reason that I'm going to take Crabtree is because if I'm going to put this guy in my lineup, I love the upside that he provides as the number one guy in that offense.
Roddy White, too many points are going to be scored in this game. I have a lot more confidence in that than a divisional matchup on Monday night.
All righty,
It's the Rams. Who cares about the Rams?
We're not yet
They're
done.
the Rams. They're awesome.
We're not yet done with Would You Rather, so don't miss it after the break. And you're listening to the Star Fantasy League show on 105.5 The Team.
You're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show. Contact the StarFantasyLeagues.com guys via Twitter at SFL Show.
That is right. Tweet us at SFL Show. And if you also want some value for Week 6, we have over $16,000 in guaranteed prize pool contests at StarFantasyLeagues.com. And Zach, take it away.
FREE 14.
That's free 14, 100% deposit bonus to $2,000 and an $11 credit. You can use that credit to play in our biggest contest, the $6,000 guaranteed.
FREE 14.
Okay, you're a broken robot. You're a broken robot.
Can we offer a Mr. Jackson bonus? I'd just like to say.
No, it would be a bones. It wouldn't be a bonus. We
All
can
right,
offer
well,
Mr. Jackson bones.
I'd like to thank Mr. Jackson for being on the show today.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson. Your owner is weird.
I like that.
Pretty good.
All right, we're not done. We're not done with Would You Rather. You guys aren't getting off that easily. All right, we got tight ends and we got flex to talk about. Antonio Gates, 12,519, or Gronk.
Would you like
You know
to
that I'm
continue
going with
your
Gronk.
range?
Are you really going to go with Antonio Gates?
Yeah,
over
actually,
Gronk?
I am.
Wow, that's downright foolish.
Well,
there is no reason that should happen.
Let him talk. I know you're on Gronk.
All right. Oakland really does stink. They really are that bad. And while I don't think Phillip Rivers is going to have a career day by any means, I do think somebody's going to get in the end zone. And Antonio Gates, I don't think Oakland has any sort of answer for Antonio Gates. He's healthy. He's great. He's having a fantastic season. Could be a 2-touchdown day.
Slower.
Doesn't matter.
Not as good.
He's been playing better defenses and torching them.
Less athletic.
He's the man.
Gronkowski, clear-cut guy to take here. Should be the number one tight end this week.
Nope.
Ooh.
Make the right decision, people.
Nope.
All right, we got two more. Andre Ellington, 15,401, or Jeremy Maclin, 16,211, who actually had a really good segment on SportsCenter.
What's the over-under on that Eagles game?
I think it's 50.
It's up to 53 now.
That's why I'm going with Jeremy Maclin. That's all.
You don't think Andre Ellington with the whole quarterback? I think they're starting. I think Ryan Leaf's brother is starting.
Yeah, no, they're onto their third quarterback because Carson Palmer's not starting and neither is Stanton. So Logan Thomas.
Yeah, great.
So yeah, I guess you have a point there, but I don't care. And Jeremy Maclin is the man, and I'm sorry that I dropped him off of my team.
I saw some stat that said basically like over half of his targets this season have been completely uncatchable balls, and Nick Foles just hasn't found him yet this season.
It's because he's the man.
That's pretty impressive.
Jeremy Maclin rocks.
He's caught every single ball.
I told him to keep him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't do it.
Oh.
He didn't do that though.
Yes, I did adamantly.
All right,
I'm gonna go with Andre Ellington. I think that he's the dual threat guy in this offense. Do we have a confirmation on Carson Palmer yet?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's out. Yeah,
He's out.
he's out.
Okay, no confirmation.
Sorry.
It's
Hasn't
probably
practiced
99%.
all week. Yeah, he's not.
He traveled after practice to Denver to get looked at by a
Okay,
specialist.
so that
there's really
ups
no
it even
chance.
more for Andre Ellington to me because he becomes the check down guy. He becomes the guy that can get 100 yards receiving.
But what
and
happens,
100
when
yards
they
rushing.
can't move the ball past 10 yards? Then they can't even keep him on the field.
You
They
made
can't
your
even do
pick. Now
anything.
let me make mine. It's
All
going
I'm
to be
saying
Andre
is
Ellington.
low ceiling.
No way.
Low ceiling.
Dual threat.
Horrible. All right, the last one this week is Ronnie Hillman, 45-45, or Tim Wright, 44-78. What a depressing way to end this. Would you rather?
Can I just say no?
Gun to your head, you cannot say no.
I guess I'll go with Ronnie Hillman. I mean, Tim Wright, I think, although he had 5 catches, saw like 15 or 17
18
snaps.
snaps.
Okay,
Yep.
18 snaps last week. That's not a guy that I have confidence putting in my lineup. Ronnie Hillman has shown flashes of being capable. There's not a lot coming behind him with C.J. Anderson and whoever the heck the other guy is. I'm not.
That's confidence right there. Who the hell the other guy is?
He's not even going to be there. So, I agree. No, I mean, Ronnie Hillman's going to have the volume, so I can't really pick Tim Wright on that one. And I'm praying because he's my only hope.
All right, if you only have one hope like Nick, seriously, play on StarFantasyLeagues.com.
Oh, yeah.
That means your season-long games are over.
There's always hope.
Play daily fantasy at StarFantasyLeagues.com. We have 16,000 plus in guaranteed prize pools for Week 6. We got a 100% deposit bonus to $2,000 and an $11 credit using the bonus code.
FREE 14.
Free 14. That is right. It's Week 6. It's the Weekend Fantasy Focus on the Star Fantasy League show.
Enjoy the games and go Bills.
I was going to say, and if you aren't so excited for the introduction, the coronation of the Pagulas
Pegasus.
as the owners, you just don't know Western New York sports. Go Bills!
Pegasus!